Hello everyone, this is Kim with Abundant Life Tarot, and I am in Portland, Oregon for the Northwest Tarot Symposium. And I always hope, like tomorrow what I plan to do is take a lot of pictures and kind of put together a montage, and wherever I might be able to video, I will. But what I've been finding about myself through this whole process from this year, and then thinking back to last year when I first went, my very first symposium, tarot symposium, I realized that I like to be in the student moment. I'm not really there to be the eyes and ears for everybody else at this point in my journey. I'm there really to soak in all the knowledge, the connections. And so I don't even like having my phone out during the classes. You can, I mean, you could take pictures. They don't want you on your phone while someone's presenting, so you try to refrain from that. But I just like to be absorbed in whatever I'm learning. Because I'm a constant learner when it comes to, for me, everything, anything and everything, but especially about what I'm most passionate about, which is tarot, which is divination. So yeah, it's been. So I want to just say that to apologize, because I know probably there are going to be some YouTubers out there who will be, who are here this weekend. It's kind of cool to hear their voice in person and to see them. I'm sure they're going to be having maybe some live videos, maybe not. I don't know. But I know for me personally, I like to just kind of be a part of the experience. The only picture I've taken so far on my Instagram is my breakfast from yesterday, which was so good. I ordered room service. Because in the food, there's no taxes in Oregon, and the prices of things are cheaper out here than if they were in California, where I'm from. So I can indulge a little bit, like on having room service maybe once a day or something like that. So I took a picture of that. I didn't take a picture of cards or anything. So I'm hoping tomorrow will be Sunday. That's the last day I'm going to be here for the event. I'm going to try to take pictures. The event runs from Friday to Sunday, but then they have a Monday all-day professional extension, which I did last year. And I think I hope I talked about it in my video I recorded from last year. And I realized I didn't even post it or publish it so you guys could see last year's. So I'm going to publish both so you can see kind of where I'm at. But I did the professional development Monday extension last year, and I thought it was super helpful, and I got a lot from it. And I'm going to do it again. I just made a decision for myself that because it's an extra expense on above and beyond what you normally pay for the tarot, the main event from Friday to Sunday, I'm like, okay, 2020, I won't do the professional development. 2021, I'll probably consider doing it again. But 2019, I did it. It was fabulous. I took away a lot of good information, and I really up-leveled my business at that point when I started employing some of those things that I learned at the Tarot Symposium, and specifically the professional development. I can't emphasize it enough. It doesn't matter if you're a seasoned tarot reader with a business of 30 years or someone who's thinking about starting a tarot business. It's a great gift to give to your development, for sure. It's a constant. What I'm realizing too, with what we do with tarot and in oracle reading or whatever divination tool you love, what we're doing is we are fine-tuning each time we do a reading or each time we use our tools. We're kind of like honing in, mastering what we are learning. But the key is you have to continue to learn. There's always so much more to learn about the art, about tarot, about the psychology of it, about just the simple, like from collecting to running a business to the actual, the anatomy of a tarot reading itself. All of that is captured in this Northwest Tarot Symposium. We call it NWTS for short. I'm super tired, so I have to apologize. I think that was also last year where I was like apologizing to you guys because I was like, I know I look whooped. I am tired. Let me tell you why. It's gonna be a little story timey for you because I feel like rambling. I haven't recorded in a little bit because I've been preparing for coming here. And when you work full time, and I'm transitioning from one position to another in my day job, and then your family needs you. Like this week, my day job, and my family needed me a lot. And then, thankfully, my tarot business kind of was cool and simmering, and my social media, I hadn't really been present because, again, I've been busy. So thankfully, that all wasn't going crazy. So I'm happy about that. But anyways, it is going to be rambly. So I flew out Thursday night at 8. I think my flight took off 8:45 p.m. Fantastic flight. I couldn't have asked for a better one. I'm serious. No, most times I'm like, oh my gosh, I get a little bit of anxiety about it, but it was cool. And we got to our destination like 20 minutes early. It was perfect. So I come to the hotel room. I get all settled in. Did I order anything that night? Can't remember. I don't think so. Because I ate tacos in Sacramento before I left. Had to get my taco fix from California. It's a thing, you know. So next day we go, the Tarot Symposium opens. Well, if you pay for the keynote presentation, the keynote speaker presentation, which of course I did, since that's why I came out Thursday night. And it started at 10. And it was Rachel Pollack, and she was talking about how to use the cards for mediumship. And I'll kind of read an excerpt of there's our program, but it has ads and cool little stuff in here about the presenters and the schedule so we can keep track of where we're trying to go, and like a little synopses of what the different workshops are, and it's cool. So she gave an awesome presentation on, reaching the other side. And we got to watch someone use a real life example in her spread. She had this massive 18 card spread, I believe. But it was amazing. It was, and all the tarot readers in the room, chiming in, saying, oh, okay, well, we think the card means this, and this, does this ring a bell for you? And it was so beautiful. It was I was happy I signed up for it. Last year, I came in, I think Saturday and Sunday and Monday, but this time I wanted to do it from Thursday night to Sunday. And next year, it's going to be even longer. Thursday night, probably, to maybe even Tuesday I return. I don't know. So I might even go up to Washington State because I've always wanted to go up further north. I have two friends that I would love to see. So in their element. So we'll see how that works out for me. Uh-oh. Dropped my book. Hold on. Sorry, guys. So that was quite interesting. Hold on, this is my mic messing around. And I have used the cards to do readings to reach people who have crossed. And I was only comfortable to do it with one person who I knew would be open to that. Actually, two, but hers was a little different. I was asking more for my healing. But the reading that I'm thinking of, that I did a mediumship situation with the cards, was with my dear friend Albert, who had passed away suddenly. And I wanted to communicate with him. We had so much unfinished business and unsaid things. And so I still needed that, but I needed it a little bit more. And he was willing to speak with me because I think I talked about this before. It's kind of painful. I don't even want to go too far into this, but a couple of months before he passed, and no, it was a couple of months. It it was probably like 6 or 7 months. It was some time because he hadn't been working at the same office I was working at anymore. And so it was while he was still working with me, and I was doing readings for folks in the office who would want them. But for some reason, I just really didn't ever want to do a reading for him. And if I did want to do one, I wanted to do it on my terms, which is I wanted to do a reading of empowerment. But he just wasn't ready for that. And he kept insisting on me doing a reading for him. And I'm like, okay, fine. So we do it. And all these different dark cards come up. And he looked at me and he was like, that's not good, huh? And he doesn't know. I mean, he may have had one reading. I think he said he had one reading before. And I was like, yeah, you know, you're just about to go through changes. I sense that you are going to, you know, get a new job. And that did happen. But it was the first time that I dealt with death, like really actually being a literal physical transition. And he intuitively felt it. He left. And then several months later, we get news that he passed away. And then so I was just like, I was having panic attacks right after we found out. I mean, it was awful. I was just really devastated because this is someone who I saw every day since like 2007. We started in the same claims office, like on the same day. Like he came from being like a sales agent to working in like in claims. And I had been doing claims for a while at that point. And we worked together for a long time, and we hung out outside of work, and we, you know, partied together. And so it was just it was heart-wrenching for a lot of people in his life. So I just felt, I was like, once I got to a place where I calmed down my panic attacks, I did the reading where I was speaking to him and reaching out to him and talking to him. And the one cool thing about that reading was he talked about how he felt before. He felt crappy, betrayed, alone, like no one had his back, all of the negative stuff, all of the cards. And then I asked, how are you feeling now? Or how did you feel when you were getting ready to transition? And the Fool card came up. And the particular Fool card, and I'm not going to go into it because I did talk about it at length, but it shows a person leaping off in a rainbow, and then you see someone leaping off and doing a deep dive into the ocean below. And it was like, and now on the other side, he's okay. He's happier now. He misses out. He always was the type that he didn't want to feel like he was missing out on a party. So he kind of feels that way. But we were able to close some unfinished business. And so I thought it was cool that Rachel tackled that topic. And then this evening, me and her were in the elevator together. I'm like, it's such an honor to be here. She's the only person I did a fangirl situation. Like, because she was in the elevator, it's just us two. We're going up the elevator, and she's like, oh no, everybody's great. And she's just super, like, easygoing. Most of the greats, the tarot greats are. I mean, it's just their nature. It's probably our nature. So that was a treat. And it was a treat that she did this. It says tarot as a medium, reading to communicate with the dead. Super interesting. It was from 10 a.m. to 1. Then after that, I had lunch with my tarot friend. I mean, she's a friend, but we met for our love of cards. And so we got to have lunch with some other lovely ladies, friends, you know, of hers, and really good food. I was happy. They hired the hotel that it's held in, the symposium. It's gone under renovation. And they also they totally replaced the cooks. They got a whole new restaurant situation. The food is excellent. They even had shrimp and grits. Okay, shrimp and grits. I'm like, I have to try it just to see. And it was good. It was good. I was happy. Yes. So let's see. We did a panel on diversity in tarot, which I realized it's a big subject that probably can't even really quite fit into just a short amount of time like we tried to fit it. Let's see. We have, I didn't know she taught 2 classes. Oh, and then there was a great class. Okay, so the Yashika Lind, and she had a course called Taking Your Readings and Your Message Online, How to Take Your Market Global. And she had some really cool tips. Yeah, I'm already, doing that to some extent, but she gave a lot of great tips that I'm going to take away and use. And then the next day, back to my story of why I was so tired and whatever. So I ended up meeting with some tarot folks, some deck creators are like, oh my gosh, it's cool. Like, and authors, it's like really fun. And we were at the hotel, like it's got like a whiskey bar or whatever. So I had already had a couple of glasses of wine at the evening's event last night, like the opening ceremonies. So I had 2 glasses there as I was shopping or looking around the marketplace, because the Northwest Tarot Symposium also has a huge marketplace that's open the whole time except for Monday, where they're selling, or there's readings happening, massages, some other energy work like runes, charm casting, or crystal casting even, which I'm curious about. I'm going to actually get a reading tomorrow, I think. They have tons of decks being sold. Indie, mass market. Cool thing about this, they also, anything you could think of that we need or want, or how we want to dress. I even got some jewelry. Anything that you need or want as a witchy or metaphysician kind of person, you got it. You got your crystals, your decks, your anything you want. Journals, statues, clothes. I bought a scarf. Where is it? I needed a scarf because sometimes I want to have different ways to wear scarves on my head. Since now California has passed the Crown Act, and I can wear my hair like I want. And they should not be discriminating. They being the powerful theys that be. So the marketplace. So I had the shrimp and grits at the bar, and then I ordered 2 more glasses of wine. It was really good. So, and we all were like definitely partaking in the spirits. So it was really, really fun and good. And we, a couple of the ladies and myself, and there were still guys, they're like, not like guys like that, but tarot folks that stayed till it closed at 2. I came upstairs about 1, and then I could not sleep. I couldn't fall asleep till 2. And then I woke up at 5. And I was so tired, but I was like, I could not. That's what alcohol does, because I never hardly drink it like that. I haven't had wine like that in, I don't know. It's been a long time. It was really good, though. I used to be a wine girl. I'm from California. Of course I am. No, not of course I am, but So anyways, rambly again. So that's why I'm super I'm tired anyway. Last year was the same. I was like, run, run, run. You're running all day and you're learning so much and you're taking in so much information from very early in the morning till the evening. And then you're networking and building friendships and connections throughout this whole time. And so, yeah. And then you go around trying to collect flair. And I'm mad because I had a few from last year that I wanted to add to this one. So we'll see how that works. I'm going to get some made, I think, for next year. And I'm coming back next year. Yeah. Anyways, So what was also cool was that I think Llewellyn was there. This is the first year that Llewellyn came and was like, we're going to each of your registrants, we're going to give a tarot deck. And I was like, oh my God, that's so cool, because I'm in a depth year and I'm not really buying decks now. Even the ones on my wish list, I'm pausing. I'm really trying to have some self-restraint and just make sure that this is a deck that I really want to bring into my collection, yada, yada, yada. So they had a lot of different decks and nothing was speaking to me. Like, I could have picked any deck. And then I realized the one deck that I wanted was the Raven's Prophecy. And I think someone took the last one. I think my friend right there. And so I don't know if it was hers, I think, or maybe she had her own copy. I can't remember. All I know is that I wanted that one. And there's maybe one other one. I was like, okay, if I see it, I'll get it. But they weren't. And then what I ended up choosing was the Modern Spellcasters. Now you're probably wondering, because you're probably saying, hey, didn't Kim do an unboxing of that deck? I did. I sure did. I did an unboxing. I used this deck quite a bit, I believe. I'm pretty sure I did an unboxing. I hope I did. I don't remember. I want to say I did. But I love this deck because when I was using tarot before, like using the Centennial Rider-Waite-Smith, and then I was using like the Gilded Tarot, and I was using the Morgan, Greer, I was just really studying them and really trying to remember the card meanings and really trying to understand, okay, I see pictures, but I'm feeling something intuitively. And then I know that there's the book understanding or the meanings. How do I marry all of that? But it was this deck that I was able to pull it all together. It was diverse. It was magical and mystical. That's the Empress. But I was a little turned off by the air being represented as the wands and the swords representing the fire. But you could still be able to, you can still read with it. And I reconcile that now. I've reconciled that I can read with it, and that I don't know if we were quite done with our relationship yet. Now, with that being said, I'm not gonna unbox it or open it right away, because I'm gonna sit with it, see if it's something I really want to open and crack open. And maybe I might even crack it open, but keep it in order. And if I'm still like, you know what? Nope, I think it served its purpose and its time in my life. It needs to move on. Then I'll use it in a giveaway, because it's a new deck and it's from Llewellyn, from Northwest Tarot Symposium. So it's already got high vibing energies from all these good folks who are in the tarot community. So I just felt called to have added it again to my collection, because I'm having some decks go out of my collection. When I sold this one, I was like, I didn't know if I was 100% sure I was ready for it to go, but I sold it. My favorite bookstore bought it. And they were like, oh, this is gorgeous. We want to, we want to keep it, or we want to buy it. So I sold it to them. But then I wondered, were we done yet? Then, okay, so I got that. Remember, I'm on a depth year. So I'm not supposed to. If some of my wish list decks were there, and it's only one main one I have in mind. That I have on my list that I would get in a heartbeat, even in a depth year. It's kind of hard to be in a place when you're in a depth year, though, and you're trying not to buy decks. But also, it wasn't so hard, because I'm like, now that I'm very clear about I'm in a depth year, and if it's not on my wish list and I'm not getting it, it helps. But, oh my gosh, guys, I'm leaving here with 5 decks, and that's through the generosity of people, the good people. Yeah. And so they have this thing called the potlatch table. It's like they call it also an exchange table. And you can bring I brought some tarot books. I'm going to put some crystals, I think, and maybe even like a tarot bag or something like that, on the table. And you could do this all weekend. People do it all weekend. They put something on the table, they take something, and they're like, they sit with it for a minute, like, I don't know about that. So maybe after a particular workshop, they trade it again and do that until the whole thing is over, till the whole symposium is over. And that's what we do. So much fun. So I end up the first day getting, it's packaged even, the Spirit Messages Daily Guidance Oracle Deck by John Holland. And I'm always like seeing people talk about this deck and seeing people use it. And I don't know how I'm going to incorporate it yet, but I saw it on the table and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. So that was cool that they put stuff like that on the table. So then on last night, I was meeting some lovely peeps, and I would like to say a new friend. She was like, oh, do you want the Ostera Tarot? And I'm like, no, put it on the exchange table, and if we're called to it, I'll find something I can trade it with, and blah, blah, blah. And she was like, no. She was like, I just don't have the guidebook, and I'll send it to you when I get home, but I don't have the guidebook. I'm like, oh, that's fine. So I've been wanting this deck a long time. I just hadn't gotten it. I hadn't gotten around to getting it. There's many decks like that. So it was cool. And I looked through this deck early this morning because I couldn't sleep. And I was like, okay, I'm curious to see how it reads. I'm excited. So then there's that. So I was talking to my friend Linda about how she got the Raven's Prophecy, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so jealous. I really wanted that from the Llewellyn. They were giving away the decks to the registrants, the attendees, and a lovely lady overheard our conversation. She tapped me and she was like, hey, I just wanted to let you know I actually have the Raven's Prophecy Tarot. And I was going to put it on the table, but, I will seek you out the next day and hand it to you. I'm like, really? Thank you, dude. Let me see what I can give you. And she's like, no, just put something on the table. So I, keep on giving, finding different things to give. It helps actually for me to find something like a deck or my tarot books or my crystals and things to lighten my load, because I packed a lot. My suitcase is super heavy. So it's like wrapped. I've always been called to this deck, but again, I just haven't gotten around to buying it because there's always some new indie deck I'm up on. And so I always figure I can always come back to this at some point when I want to or need to. So that was cool. Let's see. And then my friend Linda, she was like, I was going to put this on the potlatch table, but she was like, I'm going to totally like, I don't know. She knows I'm on a depth here. She knows. And so she's like, I'm just going to, help a sister out. I don't know. So I saw this deck in her hand. She had another one. And this is, she says, Oracle Tarot Cards by Renee Keith. Thank you for purchasing my self-published non-traditional Oracle Tarot deck. Some cards are oriented horizontally as well as the traditional vertical. I created these cards with my heart and soul using mixed mediums, including digital photography, image transfers, paintings, ink, and digital editing. This basic deck of 50 cards does not include the limited edition cards, but she included them. They're included in this deck. And she says you can go to her Etsy shop. And she says there's no right or wrong way to read the cards. Just use your intuition, which I was excited about because I'm all for that. I thought you could use these like as a standalone or maybe as an, a standalone reading just using these cards, or you could use it as a, as a closing message or a clarifying message. So I was like, yes. And I was so thankful. I was like, thank you. Thank you. It's going to go nicely with my love oracle, my very own love oracle. I love this one. Just really beautiful. I love mixed media stuff too. I'm a sucker for that. So I'm like, thank you. And look at the backs. Aren't these gorgeous? And then it comes with this gorgeous bag, which there's a card in this deck that's this image. So, and then she already edged it. She saved me the trouble. Thank you, Linda. Thank you. I'm so grateful. So then I got that deck. So yeah, I'm leaving with quite a bit. So now when I get home, I'm going to have to find a way to give more decks out or sell them or, not trade them. It's either sell or give away at this point. I got a lot of decks. So, and I don't know. I'm going to have to mail. We'll see. My back is going to break when I go home tomorrow. Let's just say that. Because my suitcase is at 46 point something pounds. I have a 50 pound limit. And then I have my backpack. And then I have my bag and so we'll see how this all works out. We shall see. I have to get creative and strategic. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that. And I'm flying. It's just, I don't know. Anyways, I don't even want to think about the flight back home tomorrow night. It always makes me sad on the Saturday leading to the conclusion of the event. It makes me sad because I'm like, I'm going to miss these folks. Oh, let me show you what else I got. I got this. Have you guys seen these before? It's a little froggy, and he makes little... There was a lady who bought a big one of these big frogs, and it was super loud, and it was just delicious to the soul. Sometimes you just think that auditory, sensory situation going on. At least for me, love this. I know my daughter, probably even my sons who are much older, they're going to get a kick out of this. So I got this for us, all of us, to play with. And then I got a couple of tarot bags because I can buy those things in my depth here. So I got this one, super cute. This is by, her card is in, I have a lot of cards and things I'm taking back. I met some really cool people this time. I got a little bit more out of my shell this year and more relaxed, and probably each year I go, it's going to be more like that. It's Kira, I believe. Kira and Divine Noctivica. She has an Etsy shop. Yeah. So I bought a couple of her bags. I thought these are cute. I got this one for my slow tarot, which is in here. Because, of course, many of the classes and workshops we're using, you got to consult your cards. So, we do spreads and things. I took some really cool classes. I didn't even go through all the rest of the classes I took. I took that. I mean, they had a voice alchemy class. You could probably hop on the website, Northwest Tarot Symposium, and just kind of go through to see all the different offerings. So you get an idea of what was offered this year. And then that way you can make a decision on, if you want to come next year. I'm certainly going to come next year, for sure. It's going to be next year, March 5th through 8th, 2021. Same spot it looks like. And, I can't wait, actually. Yeah, can't wait. And I'm still here, and I already can't wait for next year's. So it's just become I think it's going to become a regular part of my educational and my educational journey with tarot, but also building relationships with people who are doing the same thing I'm doing, or loving the cards like I am, or so It's been cool. I'm like, what else did I get? I showed you that. I showed you my jewelry. I feel like I'm missing something to show you guys, but yeah, I'm kind of pooped. I think, yeah, we have, actually, I need to get ready to go down. They're doing like their dinner and cocktail hour, and I'm going to go hang out for a little bit, and then I'm going to come back up. I'm very behind on my social media, like responses, so I need to kind of let people know. I mean, people know I was at Northwest Tarot Symposium, but, you know, I kind of want to reconnect and enjoy my hotel room, so I'm not going to have a late night like I did last night. At least that's the intent. We'll see how that goes, but that's the intent. But yeah, I've been having such a great time. It's been so much fun. I highly encourage that, even if I encourage you to go to tarot workshops in your area, or if you have the means to travel to, like, you know, maybe you're closer to the East Coast, so you go to Reader Studio, or you come out to Portland for the Northwest Tarot Symposium. But when you get with your tribe, there's something magical that happens. There really is. I've gone to like a few women's retreats, same kind of energy and vibe that happens there. But with tarot, it just feels so magical, and so everybody's smiling. That's what this one guy, he looked at my name tag and he was like, oh, I see they've got this symposium thing going on. And he's like, tarot, huh? I'm like, yeah, we collect tarot decks and we read tarot cards, and we're really into this stuff, and we're happy. And he's like, I could tell you guys are all smiling. I'm like, yeah, we are very much in our happy place right now. Like, yeah, I know, like, we've been, you know, being cautious with concerns about coronavirus, but I've just been like, you know, cloaking myself with positive thoughts, taking my vitamins like I always do, trying to drink water as much as I can. The one thing I need to work on immensely is my rest. So we'll see how I do next week with that. I'll be traveling out of town, and that may or may not help with that. But I think I'm going to bring my workout clothes, or maybe just some comfy clothes to maybe go on long walks, or even go work out in the gym in the hotel next week. So I kind of help my body relax and get some sleep. And I'm old school when it comes to combating any kind of illness, virus, or, you know, infection or what have you. Not battling it, preventative. Like, preventative is important. And when you keep your immune system at a certain level, and when you are happy with your life, and when you are like at least doing the basic fundamentals of taking care of yourself and washing your hands frequently and thoroughly, and getting that rest, getting hydrated, eating good foods, exercise, all that good stuff, you won't have such a dip like that to even get yourself to a point of being infected or getting a virus. We all, though, are subjected to it. Like, you know, so I woke up, I think that's also what kind of freaked me out and why I couldn't go back to sleep at 5, was when I drink too, I start to feel like flush. And so it's like, I'm not the best drinker anymore, because I'm like kind of not practiced, and I'm like, I don't like feeling like this. And I was sweating, and I got freaked out because I was like, oh my God, I'm having a fever. And it wasn't. It was just, you know, for me, my temperature is hot because I'm like, I've been drinking and getting the blood off, flowing, and hot and busy. And then I got up, I took my little bath to treat myself in the morning. Like, you're not getting any rest, so just take a bath. I did, drank some tea, and all was right with the world. I'm like, girl, don't even, yes, there's this stuff out there, but just focus on your program. So, yeah, that's that. So, yeah, this is how I've been going and rolling. I'm, like I said, I do plan on hopefully taking some pictures and maybe even including it on this rather long, rambly video. Or not, maybe I'll just have a quick little video montage, and it'll be like 2 or 3 minutes long, 2 or 3 minutes long, and you guys get to see pictures. I'm going to try to take pictures with Peeps before we leave tomorrow, I'm hoping. But again, it just moves, the day moves so fast. There's so much information that you're trying to take in, and it's kind of difficult to just be like, okay, I'm going to stop now and I'm going to record, and I'm going to be like an interviewer or a reporter to report back to folks, or hold it up. You know, you got to get permission to just record something continuously. I'd want to enjoy. I paid for this, this trip. I want to enjoy it and I want to learn. So maybe in a couple of years' time, I'll be at a point where I'm able to do that kind of dynamic sharing. But right now, this is what I'm doing with it. So sorry, folks. This is what I can share at this juncture. So let me know, have you ever gone to Northwest Tarot Symposium or any kind of tarot conference? And what were some of your biggest takeaways? And or will you give some thought over the next year or two of going and starting to make that plan and starting to save for it? And they're really not that expensive. Really what for me comes into play that makes it expensive is the lodging and the transportation. Because I had to, fly here. I didn't have to, I could drive, but it's too long of a drive for me. So I flew, and then I got a hotel room. The event itself, it's not that expensive. When you add on the development, it gets a little more, the professional development on Monday. But again, you're investing in your future, you're investing in your business, and sometimes you have to pay a little bit of money to do that. So there's that. All right, guys, I'm going to get off here so I can get ready to go downstairs. Sending you so much love, and I want to thank you all so much for watching and chiming in and showing your love. It's always so good for me to see your comments. I do see them, even if I don't reply back to them right away. Know that I do eventually get a chance to sit down and just with my comments and go through them. And you guys are just amazing to me. Thank you. In fact, and then I'm really going to wrap up. In fact, my daughter was like, because she watches her YouTube peoples, and she was like, oh, you should take your comments and do a video and just kind of discuss them and be like, okay, this is what a comment came in and said, and let's expound on that. And I thought, well, that is so cool. Thank you, my dear. So I think I am going to try that out. So we'll see about that. So keep the comments coming. Love you guys. Mwah.